I'm going to give you the fixed protocol.
Ladies and gentlemen, we called it. Bitcoin is back. BTC is back. I made a video about a little bit less than a week ago that was predicting that something big was coming. I was being a little bit silly when I told you guys to put all your money in Bitcoin. I did clarify right away that I was not serious. And I still maintain that you should not put all your money in Bitcoin. You should not put all your money in anything. And in fact, later on today, I'll be doing a little video about diversifying your portfolio. Yes, you probably heard that before, but there is another kind of diversification that you should consider, and I'll be discussing that later on today. But yes, regardless, never invest all your money into any one thing. So absolutely do not put all your money in Bitcoin. With that being said, Bitcoin is back, but for how long and how high will it go? So let's take a look at what's happening with Bitcoin as we speak. Let's pull up the data and see what is going on. Bitcoin currently up, last time I checked this week, I believe 11%. Currently on the day, it is actually down 0.98%. This is a live view from my Robinhood account. Bitcoin currently trading at $3,754.13. That is actually down $37 on the day. If we actually, I apologize. This is the live view, so that is on the hour. So it's down 35.26 on the hour. On the day, it's actually up $45. On the week, it is up $356. Bitcoin is currently trading up $356. So that is up 10% on the week, but still down on the month. It is $1,738 down on the month. But, right, the price has been dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. And the thing about it is, that's fine, because the way I look at that, that's an opportunity for discounts, right? Price goes down. And ultimately, I want to look for the bottom where it reverses and returns or price corrects. That is if there is any, let's just call it value in Bitcoin, because that is the big question. A lot of people don't have a lot of faith in Bitcoin. If enough people don't have faith in Bitcoin, then its value becomes worthless. Bitcoin can go as low as it wants to go. Bitcoin can go to 2,000, 1,000, 500, $50 or 50 cents, right? There's no guarantee that Bitcoin will be viable. It is all based on market perception. And a lot of people have had a lot of doubt because a lot of people have suffered a lot of losses. But a lot of people have also made tremendous amounts of money. If you look at what Bitcoin did earlier in the year, smart investors who jumped in and jumped out fast enough made a lot of money, which is ironic. A lot of people talk a lot of negative things about Bitcoin, but I can't think of anything else that had the most rewarding, one of the most rewarding events. Is looked upon by many as quite the opposite. Now, of course, and this is how the market works. If one person wins, another loses. Ultimately, right? That's just the way it works. You are, whenever you're trading, you're betting, right? I am betting something, it's going to go this way. You're betting it's going to go the other way. Whoever wins is the one who made the correct bet, right? So bottom line is, a lot of money has been made in Bitcoin. Millionaires have been made in Bitcoin very rapidly, but also due to a little bit of irresponsibility and greed, many people have lost a lot of money in Bitcoin. Not just irresponsibility and greed, also ignorance, because unfortunately, Bitcoin became such a trending topic that even your barber is talking about. Hey, have you heard about Bitcoin? I'm going to invest in Bitcoin. Someone who has never made any previous investments is now all of a sudden talking about buying Bitcoin. So that insanity led to people investing in a security that they know nothing about, which is definitely not wise. And if you want to take a chance, I mean, people go to Las Vegas all the time. You want to take a chance, definitely don't risk large amounts of money. But I mean, that's always the case, whether you're knowledgeable or not knowledgeable. I always say, never invest more than you're willing to lose. And in some cases, beware that you can lose a lot more than you invest. Case in point, common one that I always bring up is short selling. Short selling is something, wow. I don't know if they actually, I got to look into that. Do they even support short selling of cryptocurrencies? They might not want to do something like that, but if they do, wow. The same way that people made a tremendous amount of money from the gains from the Bitcoin surge in prices, or in price rather, be a surge in cryptocurrency prices, but a surge in Bitcoin's price. But the same way that people made tremendous gains in Bitcoin by buying it at the right time as it shot for the moon. Wow. People did the same thing on the opposite side by betting against it. And you got to think, I can pretty much guarantee you that there's more than a few clever traders that made a lot of money potentially on both sides. I mean, if you really are, let's just say, that's gotta take some serious guts. If you're really on that level where you're made out of titanium, then you could have made, I mean, just riding the wave when it went up, you can make a lot of money. But imagine making money on both sides, ill-informed, look at it as scam, scheme, all that kind of stuff. But what they're perceiving as scam or scheme is just a result of a lot of uneducated people that are in the market, and they're uneducated and they're also emotional, right? So they jump into this hype without understanding what they're getting into. And they are a big part of why the price gets overinflated. Professionals are aware of this. So it's not that it's a scheme that the professionals are taking advantage of the individuals that try to get in on this Bitcoin craze. It's just they leverage their knowledge, right? The fact that people chose to invest in something they didn't fully understand, that's on them. That's not a scam. That's not a scheme. You can't put the responsibility of that on the professionals, right? I mean, buying a house, let's say buying a house, for example, right? So that's something that's seen as a good investment. That's something, a typical thing for you to do, buy a house, right? But buying a house without doing your homework and understanding the risks. What happens in a house fire? What happens in earthquake, tornado, flooding? What happens if we get into a recession and the price of your house plummets? What happens if someone decides to build a racetrack a few miles from your house? A lot of factors to consider. And for you to go buy a house without informing yourself of the risks involved, well, that would be foolish. No different than investing in cryptocurrencies without even understanding what a cryptocurrency is, right? Without understanding what you're getting into. So for you to make a bad investment buying a house in a neighborhood that's on a decline and then ending up with an upside down mortgage, is that a scam? Did the realtor scam you because you didn't do your homework? The realtor is in the business of selling houses. You're looking to buy a house. They've got a house that meets whatever you're looking for. They'll sell it to you. And if you end up in trouble, that's on you. You invest in cryptocurrency without understanding what it is, understanding the market, understanding the risks, without having a strategy, and you end up losing a lot of money. Whose fault is that? Again, lots of scams and schemes within cryptocurrency. It's new. Many would say perhaps not enough regulations. So you got a lot of fly-by-nights coming in with their own cryptocurrencies. Not gonna call any names. You got a lot of YouTubers online talking about their cryptocurrency experts, right? Meanwhile, me, almost 2 decades in investment banking, actually worked in the cryptocurrency space, worked directly with some of the major cryptocurrency exchanges, but I don't come on here telling you I'm a cryptocurrency expert and I've got a system and I'm going to sell you some kind of a program and blah, 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 and buy this. Understand this. During the cryptocurrency boom, when things were going crazy, I didn't even post one video. Now, I probably should have, just out of, you know, my subscribers, some of them subscribe for financial information. I've done videos talking about different order types, asset classes. So for me to be in this new business and to not make any content at all, at least I could have made some educational content, perhaps, to let people understand what cryptocurrencies are. But unfortunately, here's the reality. People spend most of their time with what pays the bills. So I was busy earning a living, paying my bills. Right? So when you see people online talking about, I'm going to show you the cryptocurrency, that's how they're making money. They're not making money because they're cryptocurrency experts, because they'd be busy making money trading, not trying to sell you on something. Right? Interesting how that works out. But the bottom line is, as far as I've seen, I've said this before, and I'll maintain what I said before. I don't see any evidence that Bitcoin is fraudulent in any way. I can't say that for 100%. I have not worked directly with Bitcoin. I have worked with some of the exchanges, so I don't have any association with anyone who had anything to do with the development or anything regarding Bitcoin directly. But from everything that I've seen, I have no reason to believe that it is in any way fraudulent. A lot of what you saw, again, ill-informed investing from people just jumping on a trend. But can you imagine someone that jumped in when the price was rising, like just in an insane, like, let's look at that. Let's look at the last year. Actually, this is off the graph. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. So you jump in. So it's Bitcoin is trading at 1362, April 28th, 2017. And then we jump to summer of 2017. It was the summer of 2017. Bitcoin was rising like an eagle, soaring for the clouds. Is this a musical or is what just happened there? Sorry for the technical difficulties. Anyway, summer of 2017, it was up to 2520. And you're like, okay, I see what you're doing, Bitcoin. And you sat by and you watched it kind of flatten out a little bit, did a little dip, and then it started rising again. 2749, July 2017. 4340, wow, August 25. Okay. Now you got my attention. You jumped on at 4340. Went long, BTC, 4340. And you rode that wave all the way up to 15,268. From 4,000 to 15,268 per Bitcoin. $1,900%. So you're talking about from, what was the purchase? So we did it at August. Between August and December, you saw that kind of gain. Now, that's phase one, professional trader. Somewhere around November into December, you've already seen massive gains. And you see the trajectory just being unrealistic, insane, not sustainable. I mean, you just know based on basic probabilities that, and common sense, you can't keep going at this rate. It's going to peak somewhere. You don't know where it's going to peak, but it's going to peak somewhere. And here, I would say right around here is where we separate the men from the boys. The boys are greedy. The boys are emotional. They're looking at their bank accounts and they're seeing all that money racking up so quickly. All the excitement, Bitcoin made a bunch of guys millionaires, overnight millionaires. That's what the boys are thinking. The boys are back in town. Right? What are the men thinking? This is not sustainable. I have already made a lot of money in a short period of time. Way more than I probably should have. First of all, you probably already had an exit strategy before you even entered your position. You have resources available to you, individuals a lot smarter than myself, who have run mathematical models and risk assessments, and they have, from this analysis and from this data, they have predicted a likely trajectory of Bitcoin. And based on that analysis and that data, they have probably predicted a few exit points at which they would exit their position. The men will stick to their guns, ignore all the insanity, ignore, oh, it's going up, it's going up. Discipline, strategy, analysis. Sell Bitcoin, 9,304. I'm out. Phase 1. Phase 2. When will it peak and then massively correct? Basic probability analysis. Price fluctuations this severe in this short of a time window suggests an inverse event is imminent. Just as aggressively as it climbed, extremely likelihood that it will fall just as fast. Many reasons why this is the case. But one fundamental thing to consider is that a lot of the reason why this price is rising so quickly has to do with hype and greed. Those qualities are not sustainable. That means the price will probably massively overshoot into a range where it will be extremely overvalued. That demands a massive price correction, and fast. Because the way this works is a snowball effect. People get more nervous the higher the price goes because they know what's coming next. So one by one, people start selling. The buy orders start declining. Sooner or later, the price starts coming down. And it's a snowball effect. As the price comes down, even more people started getting nervous. Oh no, it's going down. And so on and so forth. Before you know it, the price is screaming for the bottom. But let's get back to Mr. Professional Trader. Exited the market at 93.04. Sat back and watched as the price climbed. Sacrificed massive gains in light of being a little bit more disciplined. So you're sitting there, you exited at, I forgot what the amount was I said. I think it was like I think we exited about 4,000. Or 9,000 was it? I don't remember. But bottom line is, you could be making a lot more money if you were still in the market. But you chose to exit the market. And I, as I mentioned, gains without, I don't want to say any risk. I mean, obviously there is risk, but I guess let me give the risk context. Without risk of your initial capital, or your initial investment. So if you started with $1 million to trade and you've already, let's say you brought back 50 million, right? You started with $1 million in Bitcoin. Now your current value of your portfolio is 50 million. Right? If that is the case, like if that were to happen, and I'm not talking specifically about these numbers and what specifically happened with Bitcoin, just giving you a hypothetical situation. If you were able to turn 1 million into 50 million, and you were to remove from the market a value that is greater than your initial risk, whatever money you put in, so greater than $1 million, then whenever you've gone in a long position, because this is where this works, you have no more risk to your initial investment, because the amount of money that you remove from the market is massively greater than the initial amount of money you put in the market. So even if you lose 100% of the money remaining in the market, or the value, you lose 100% of it, but the result is still net positive, because you went from $1 million, profited tens of millions, removed tens of millions from the market. Now that money is safe, you have it, it's not in the market anymore. So no matter what happens, you get to keep that. So whatever you leave in the market, you can lose 100%. No big deal. Well, that's another topic. Let's assume you exited completely from the market. Made a lot of money just a few months. Then you're sitting there waiting for it to crash. You see the price peak and it starts falling, and then it starts flying really fast. And then you do basically an inverse, like we said, an inverse event. You do an inverse trade. I'm making up terms. I'm just basically saying, I don't know, maybe that is a term, but I'm basically saying you're doing basically the opposite of what you did in the beginning. In the beginning, you were betting that the price was going to fluctuate massively, or going to rise massively in a short span of time, and you jumped in to ride that wave. You're now betting that the opposite will happen. So just like how you jumped in as it rose, now you want to jump in as it falls. But this is a really dangerous part of this strategy. So phase two, I don't think the professional would really go too far with this, because let's say you did that. I mean, it depends on your time horizon as well. Let's say you did that and the price correction was only from 19,000 to 8,000. It is possible, depending on which price point that you entered your order, that you could actually take losses, because if it goes down to 11,000 and then it kind of stabilizes and then maybe it starts rising a little bit, but you were betting that it would fall massively to like 4,000 or 5,000 or whatever, depending on what price you entered your position, you could actually suffer losses, especially if it recovers to, let's say it recovers to 9,000. It kind of hovers there for months. And based on that, people have a more positive feeling about Bitcoin, and it slowly starts to rise up over time. Now, the longer you are short, you're paying interest on the loan. So you don't really want to have this position for too long. You want to see some massive price declines pretty quickly. But in that scenario, that's not a good situation to be in, where it doesn't fall as massively as you expected, and it's kind of stabilized. It's actually slightly growing, especially after a massive spike like this. If it spikes like that again, you are in so much trouble. You are in so much trouble. For example, you shorted it at 8,000, expecting it to go down to 4. Instead, it spikes back up to 19,000. So you now have to buy it at that price, which pretty much wipes out all of the gains that you were intending to get, or the gains that you got when you started your position. And now you're gonna have to dip into your pocket and spend even more. But 1 second, let me check something out. And actually, before we proceed, let me read some of the news that I saw. See what the geniuses are saying. Bitcoin rallies 10%, extending this week's gains after months of crypto carnage. The world's largest cryptocurrency was trading above 3,800 on Wednesday, bringing it to a 3-day rally to 22%. The cryptocurrency is still capping off an awful year and is down 72% on the year since January. Bitcoin's impressive push from the floor on Wednesday was a result of short covering, analysts say. It's certainly a hell of a lot more cash efficient to buy now, says CoinFi CEO Timothy Tam. I'm sure there is no conflict of interest there. The hope is that the market has culled jumpy retail investors, and as regulators move in, we start to see some much needed stability. So basically mirroring some of my sentiments, talking about the retail investors causing a lot of the noise that resulted in that massive spike, which was good for those who have the skill to take advantage of it. Not so much for the retail investors who are largely greedy and emotional. Bitcoin is finally rallying again. After weeks of pain from the world's largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin surged 10% to a high of 3,929.10, according to data from CoinDesk. Wednesday's performance brings Bitcoin's 3-day gains to more than 22%. Other top cryptocurrencies followed suit. XRP, the world's second largest digital currency, jumped 16%, while Ether rallied 13%, or Ether. Ether rallied 13% according to CoinDesk. Still, 2018 has been a brutal year for most cryptocurrency investors. Bitcoin is down more than 80% from its all-time high hit almost exactly 1 year ago. This year alone, it's down 72% and has struggled to usher in new buyers. Finding fresh buyers was hardly a problem last year. Bitcoin first became a household name in 2017 as retail investors made speculative bets on cryptocurrencies, raising more through initial coin offerings or ICOs. Regulators have stepped up their oversight of the industry this year, cracking down on fundraising projects that have failed to register with the SEC. Other crypto founders have been charged as outright frauds. Over the past 6 months, hundreds of ICOs have been forced to close up shop, which CoinFi CEO Timothy Tam said was a necessary shakeout for the market. The garbage, or at least a good portion of it, is starting to get collected, Tam said. Ultimately, this strengthens the market. Still, he underlined that a 10% Bitcoin spike doesn't mean crypto prices are in the clear or that it's time to breathe a sigh of relief. My sentiments as well. And we're going to get into that. But I'll just leave this here. Yes, things are looking good. Yes, if you were smart, you could have made some good money already this week with a short position, not a short position, but short-term position. So you could have bought as it was rising and then sold and made some good money this week. Because I mean, everybody's risk tolerances are different, but for me, I am not looking to make any trades until I see something massive. That's the only thing I'm interested in. I'm not interested in small potatoes. So a little spike here and there. All that tells me is we might be getting closer to an event, but I am still waiting for certain signals before I make any moves, but that's based on what I'm looking to do. You may have different goals and you trade according to those goals. Somebody looking to make profits on a short-term spike, well, you had a great opportunity already this week. Jump in, jump out. Tam, it's certainly a hell of a lot more cost efficient to buy now, you said. Regular stability. Matty Greenspan, senior market analyst at eToro, said Bitcoin's impressive push from the floor on Wednesday was also the result of short covering. People are looking to reduce their exposure and closing out high-risk sell positions before the holidays, and this is creating upward pressure on market prices, which is ultimately resulting in a rally, Greenspan said. Michael Morrow, CEO of Genesis Global Trading, also saw an uptick in short covering. He echoed Tam's sentiment that Bitcoin is not quite out of the woods yet. Morrow said he is not ready to call a bottom until prices break towards the 4,000 ceiling. I think Mr. Morrow is thinking along the same terms or similar terms that I am. Jumping to 4,000 would be a significant jump. But I might want to see even more than that. So I'm still speculating. I'm looking at what's happening, watching the market, and the decision I choose to make will be based on what happens next. Wow, more good news. Great way to end the year. Buyers typically need to see prices holding for a few days before they really step in, and I think 3,900 is a key short-term level here before that really happens. All right, let's wrap it up. Where are we at right now? Live Bitcoin We are at 37.87. 37.87. Still down 0.14 on the hour. On the day, however, we are up $75 or 2%, just dropped to 1.99%. This is a good day so far. So take a look at what I was describing to you before. So if you, based on what's been happening with the market open, well, or at least the day starting trading, we see it goes up to 44, dips down, starts going up and up and up and up, and you make a call that you're predicting that it's not going to just keep going up the whole day. We're not there yet. So you just want to ride a little bit of an upward trend. So you jump in at 37.52 and you ride it up to maybe 38 or something, and then you sell. So you made a little profit right there, and then that's it for you. Right? I mean, if you're really lucky, you bought at 37. So you're up at 3:40 in the morning, Eastern Standard, and you bought at 37.20. And you're so lucky that you actually sold at 38.89 just before it starts dropping back to 37.72. If you even look on the week, if you had bought December 17th, let's just say 15th, 16th. So it's been falling and falling and falling and falling and falling. December 14th is just kind of stabilizing, not really moving much. December 15th, then 16th. So you're like, this has got to be the floor. This has got to be it. Not really moving down anymore. It's just kind of going up a little bit, going down a little bit of stability there. So you're like, this is a floor. So you jump in at 32.16, hoping it's going to start rising. 32.16. Nothing really happens for a couple days. And then December 17th, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., it jumps up from 32.35 to 33.84. But in a little bit of a longer term, the price peaks at 38.38, and you bought at 32.10. That's pretty sweet. So you could have done that, and then you could have said, yeah, you know, this is good and all, but I'm really skeptical about Bitcoin. So you don't want to ride this wave too long because you're afraid it's going to start dropping again. You don't want to take any losses. You're just trying to take some short-term gains. So you ride this wave and you make a judgment call as to how far up you want to ride it until you jump off. You jump off at 37.24, and you might have made a good call because it did drop. It did start to drop December. When was that? When did it start dropping? December 19th. So that would be today, this morning. But that's only on the day. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen at the end of the day. By the end of the day, it could hit 4,000. By the end of the day, it could drop to 3,200. Right? So we don't know where it's going to go. But the bottom line, and the point I'm trying to make, is that there was significant money to be made already this week. And I can guarantee you some people made some money. Nothing crazy, unless you had a massive position, which would be a little bit nutty to do that. But you could have definitely made some money this week in Bitcoin. Finally, for the first time in I don't know how long. I mean, you had some gains right here, November 28th. really short term, but I would, just looking at this roughly, I don't see anything close to this in terms of gains in Bitcoin since last year with the insanity. Had a couple spikes afterwards. So what next? I have not purchased any more Bitcoin. I'm still standing on the sidelines. I'm waiting for something more significant, but we seem to be edging closer to what I'm waiting for, if I'm right. I've been right so far, but that could change. So I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, and I shouldn't, for legal reasons. What all I can do is tell you what I'm doing with my money. And what I'm doing is I'm sitting on the sidelines waiting for a significant event. All I'm seeing now is sort of, how do you describe it? There's a train that is inbound, but it's quite far away still. You can hear in the distance that rumbling, that deep bass, the low tones of the train rumbling as it approaches. You might even hear the horn in the distance. Very faint. That's what I see here. However, my concern is the train that we're hearing might not even be the train that you're waiting on. It's too far away to be sure. So while I am ready to go, I'm moving towards where the doors will be. My head is turned, my eyes are focused on the horizon. I don't yet know if that's my train. So my posture is, I am prepared once I see more clear indications of, oh, that is my train. Then I make my move and jump on board. And I won't be going far. I do not intend to go too far. I'm jumping on that train. I might take 1 stop, 2 stops, 3 stops, and then I'm hopping right off. I don't feel that going long cryptocurrency is, or when I say long, let me qualify. A long-term investment in cryptocurrency is wise at this time. It's just too unstable. It's too new. For me personally, for my risk tolerances, I don't like that idea. My only interest in Bitcoin is in short-term gains. Jump in, jump out. Maybe in the future when things get more stable, when it's more mature, I might hold a position, but I really don't want, I don't feel comfortable holding Bitcoin for any period of time. So that's my perspective. I'm still waiting. Haven't made any trades, and I'm not going to make any trades unless I see something massive, which might be coming, but there's no guarantee, which is why I'm waiting. And once again, when I make my move, it'll be short term. Jump in, jump out. What you do with your money is up to you. You've got to consider your time horizon, your risk tolerances, what your goals are. Do your research, and never invest more than you're willing to lose. On that note, I have a lot of work to do, so I am going to wrap this up. Any questions, let me know before we wrap up. Questions, questions. Do you have any questions? What are we up to now? 37.69. Let me see what Bitcoin. Let me see. Usually when I go live, the market changes. No. But just out of curiosity, let's see what it was trading at when I started streaming. So 37.59. 37.59. So it's actually gone up since I started the stream. 37.59, and now there's 37.74. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay alert. Be responsible. Don't be emotional. Have a strategy. When you're going to jump in, when you're going to jump out, and don't buy into a lot of the hype from CNBC, YouTubers looking to make money, right? Whenever you're getting advice from someone, whether they are experts on CNBC or some YouTuber who claims that they're crypto genius, always consider why they are helping you. What do they get out of it? Are they a good Samaritan? Or are they selling you something? Be hyper sensitive to conflicts of interest. I saw someone online today, I was watching a video, was talking about how great the Forex market is. In terms of, I think they were saying, I don't remember the exact wording, but basically they were encouraging people and saying it's a great business to get into or something like that. And immediately when they said that, because I know the statistics that most traders lose. So why is this guy saying how great it is? As soon as he said that, I said, I wonder what he's selling. Went straight to the description of the video. What do you know? He's selling a Forex course. So a guy telling you that Forex is a great business to get into is selling a Forex course. Why would anybody take a Forex course if Forex is not a good business to get into? So saying that it's a good business to get into conflict of interest message. Keep that in mind. This is Carl Speaks Wall Street, and this has been the Bitcoin Report. Until next time, salut, arrivederci, dobre utro. Be well, everyone.
With options, your entire strategy is based on what you... I'm going to give you the fixed protocol. Options Greeks.
Click subscribe, then click the bell. Click the bell because you don't want to miss out on more awesome content that I'll be posting soon right here on this channel. Welcome aboard. Buongiorno. Salut. Vigits. Bienvenidos. Hasta luego, todos. I'm so excited that you've decided to join the team so we can learn together, grow together, and achieve our dreams. Let's do it. See you soon. Grazie. Learning, learning, learning. We gonna do some learning. We're gonna learn.
subscribe, I'm telling you.
Shout out to my top subscribers: Mega Noob, Nick, Igor, MJ Shahid, and CKO.
Click subscribe, then click the bell. Click the bell because